Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Emerald with only one spin was pretty quick. Let's follow that up with a brutal one. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team of only one Wooper. So Wooper is one of those Pokemon where I didn't realize just how weak it was until I took a look at his stats. He's a water and ground type with an overall base stats of only 210. That's 100 lower than first form starters like Bulbasaur. Our speed is especially bad, meaning that we'll need to be pretty over-leveled if we want to attack first. By level up, the only really good move we get is Earthquake, for sure the best one. By TM we have a decent amount of choices, although not the widest coverage in the world. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think that I can beat the Elite Four for near max level, and we can probably beat Blue at level 100, but there's no way we're beating Red. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Wooper. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Totodile with Wooper so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Totodile so that our rival would have Chikorita, without a doubt the hardest starter for us to fight considering we're double weak to grass. I name him Wooper, because you guys told me to. Honestly, I couldn't think of anything, so I just asked Twitter. You guys gave me tons of replies in the first 10 minutes, so thanks for that. In the end, I had to go with Wooper with an H because I genuinely just started to laugh when I read it. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter. Anyway, getting to the first part of town goes fine, but I ended up grinding a bit. Normally I'd get a few levels by doing Bellsprout Tower, but I'm not exactly dying to go to the tower almost exclusively filled with Pokemon that we're terrible against. Thankfully, we didn't have to grind too long because at level 12 we beat the Flying Gym on the first try. We almost went down thanks to a crit, but we have Slam and it's pretty strong this early, even if it's pretty inaccurate. Union Cave was easy considering we have water moves, and I'm glad that it is, because I kinda get the feeling that we're gonna have to grind here if we want any chance of beating the next rival fight. If I remember right, he should have a Bayleaf with Razor Leaf, and that should one-shot us right now. First though, the Bug Gym. I took a few tries, and they usually go pretty well, but we can't quite get past Scyther even if we don't miss. Alright, it looks like I really will have to go do that grind. A few levels later though, and we ended up critting a Slam. Thanks to that, we didn't have to just hope for Fury Cutter misses. We'll still need to grind more before we beat our rival, but this still feels like an accomplishment to me. At level 24, I gave it a first try and it wasn't even close. Like I expected, Razor Leaf hit pretty hard. What's even worse is that we're slower. We're gonna have to grind just to get fast enough to do some damage. During my attempts at level 28, it wasn't looking good due to all the Razor Leaf crits one-shotting us. A few tries in though, Bayleaf just used Poison Powder for some reason, and Slam was just hardly strong enough to get the 2-shot. After that, all we had was Zubat, so we finally won. Now, before we can go do the normal gym, I decided to grab the TM for return. I'm not sure we're actually going to need this very often since we naturally learn Earthquake and that'll be stronger, but I'm sure it'll be helpful for the flying types. Next up is the normal gym, and I wasn't actually too worried about it this time. Normally, Miltank is terrifying, but we actually resist rollout, so it isn't that bad at all. An easy first try victory. Plus, we learned Earthquake. It's going to be perfect for the Ghost Gym. Before that, though, I go ahead and clear out the dance hall to get the HM for Surf. This is going to be the strongest water move that we can learn. We have pretty terrible special attacks, so it's never going to be amazing, but it'll do. By the time of the Ghost Gym, we actually ended up being fast enough that we had no real issues. It's always nice when we don't have to grind for this one. Now, we might not need this right away, but I realized that now would be a good time to hit up the Goldenrod department store to buy TM33. It's for Ice Punch. I didn't actually realize we could learn this until I was rereading the TM move list, and, we have no arms. So I don't know why we can learn this, but we'll need it for Lance, so I'm not complaining. Next up is the Fighting Gym. Now, I actually thought this would be really hard, seeing as they could pretty easily take us down quickly if they hit, but they missed every single attack, so it was fine. Normally I'd go after the Ice Gym next since it's typically much easier than the Steel one, but for once we have a really easy time. Earthquake is just the perfect move here. After breezing through the Rocket hideout like usual, I take a crack at the Ice Gym. Earthquake is just too much for them to handle though. Usually if the Steel Gym isn't much of an issue in gold runs, then this whole chunk of the game breezes by. Last before the Dragon Gym is the Rocket takeover of Radio Tower. None of the fights here are particularly bad, but there is a rival battle. Normally, the rival is super easy in these runs, but considering he's one of the only people we'll fight who has a decent grass-type Pokemon, he could be dangerous. So this rival fight ended up being awful. First, we get confused right away on every attempt because Golbat is faster than us and uses Confuse Ray. On one attempt, we actually took him down fast, but Meganium is next. He used Reflect, we crit with an Ice Punch to almost one-shot him, he crit with Razor Leaf to almost one-shot us, we finished him off, and naturally Sneasel's faster than us and easily finishes it with Feint Attack. Alright, I'm gonna need to level until we're at least a little bit stronger and faster. Only 2 levels later though, and we had a great run where Meganium only used Reflect. Thanks to never getting hit by a grass move, we had a really easy time taking out the rest of the team with Earthquake. Finally, at the Dragon Gym, we actually ended up being able to one-shot most of our team with Earthquake. Just hardly. Kingdra actually could have taken us out with Surf, but we ended up critting an Earthquake for a one-shot after they healed. Last before the Elite Four is the battle that normally isn't too bad, but because of our super weakness to grass types, might actually take a few tries. This rival fight is probably going to require either a crit, that Meganium chooses a different move, or for Razor Leaf to miss, although that's only a 5% chance. Many tries later, and we once again ended up beating Meganium thanks to him using Reflect instead of just attacking us. The rest of his team wasn't a serious problem, so we took him down just fine. Here's our stats before the Elite Four. We got here at level 60, and it was just way too low, so I decided to grind up to 65. We have good moves and a Quick Claw, but there's no way we could handle fighting people like Lance with this low of speed. Maybe we'll level up on our way through the Elite Four enough to win, though. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. As predicted, speed ended up being a serious issue here. Because we're slower than most of his team, we get picked apart by Psychic over and over until we go down. It's a 100 accuracy move, and we can't completely rely on Quick Claw to save us, so let's just get some grinding out of the way early. At our very first attempt at level 70, we ended up winning without taking any damage at all because we outsped the whole team and crit Slowbro. That was a nice change of pace. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. This one started off pretty easily with us crushing most of his team until Crobat. We missed a comedic amount of times considering he only used Double Team once, and we got hit by Toxic, but even that couldn't make us lose the fight. He can't get away with just using one Pokemon to win the fight, that's my gimmick. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. We did take quite a few hits in this fight, but for the most part it was still pretty easy. Machamp made my heart drop when he crit us with Cross Chop, but we hung on and won on the first try. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. It's funny, she's the only member of the Elite Four with a grass type that really could mess us up, and she just misses with Stun Spore. Because of that, she's super easy. Finally, the Pokemon Champion Lance. First was Water Onix. We did some decent damage with Return, but took a surprisingly small amount of damage off Hyper Beam, then finished him off. Next up were 3 Dragonites in a row, but because they're all double weak to Ice, we one-shot all of them. Aerodactyl ended up hitting us for massive damage with a critical Hyper Beam, but we were still able to finish him off, and last was Charizard. He ended up hitting us with a Hyper Beam that took us down to only 3 health, as our Surf ended up one-shotting him, winning us the fight. With that win, we get into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet. Pokemon Gold has all of Kanto in it. Like always, 7 of the 8 gyms here are super easy since they're about on par with the Elite Four who we've already beaten, but there are 2 great trainers here, Blue and Red. First for Blue. Pidgeot did a bit of damage by mirror moving our Ice Punch, but overall wasn't that bad. Executor had me a bit worried, but he just went for Solar Beam, so we had time to take him down before he hit us. Alakazam could probably hit us pretty hard, but he used Reflect and Recover to hang on for a while. We didn't take any damage, but Reflect stayed up to help protect Water Onix. Because of that, we hardly did any damage. It didn't matter much at first, but it wasn't long before he hit us with Hydro Pump and Hyper Beam, taking us down. I'm gonna need a couple levels more, mostly to help with speed, then give this some more tries. Once we get to level 84, we take a few more tries. This time we ended up tanking Psychic from Alakazam, so he never got a chance to Earthquake us. Because of that, we were able to deal with Water Onix much faster, keeping us from taking extra hits. Rhydon was an easy one-shot with Surf, and last was Arcanine, who we actually outsped and one-shot with Earthquake. I'm gonna guess that was our Quick Claw kicking in. Even with the level lead, we're crazy slow and Arcanine is crazy fast. Well, with that win, we actually only have the red fight left. I doubt that we're actually going to beat it, but once again, I've actually finished my work pretty early this week, so I'm going to have time to grind up to level 100 and keep trying. By the way, expect for this to happen more often now that I stopped doing daily videos. I finally have more time to focus on these challenges for you guys. I'm not going to promise that I'm always going to have time to get to level 100, but I'll try to more often. It's hard, you know? I did 10 years of daily videos on top of the last 2 years of these challenge videos. I was working 70+ hour weeks. I'm happy that things have slowed down. After grinding up to level 90, we start making attempts. It goes great at the start when we one-shot Pikachu. What doesn't go great is when Venusaur outspeeds us in the second round to one-shot us with Solar Beam. Ouch. I don't know if we have a speed tie or if Quick Claw gave me the first round. Either way, let's just top off our level with Rare Candy. Unfortunately, even after doing that, we're still slower and still get one-shot by Solar Beam. We also do just a hair under half his health and damage, so we can't two-shot him with Quick Claw. Once again, I grinded up for the last fight just to not stand a chance. I really gotta learn my lesson on this. I have to say, I really thought that one would have been overall harder. We had some decent moves, and it was nice to have the same type attack bonus on both ground and water, but I really thought our terrible stats would drag us down farther during the center of the game. I really hope you guys liked that run. For next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge, I'm going with a fun-looking one. Pokemon Red with 1 Jigglypuff. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend What a Geek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and now we're doing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, What a Geek and Goosip, playing Pokemon here on my channel. We've already done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, and now we're on my first time playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. Also come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.